Morning, Propane Pete with you again for another day on the Little Red Nugget. It rained overnight, but it's starting to clear up now. Anyway, the plan today is to clean up and paint the wheels, take them into town, take them to Bob Jane T-Mart in town, and have the 4 new tyres fitted that are there waiting for me. On the way back, I'll pop into Repco, pick up a few little bits and pieces, and also drop in at Supercheap and have them make up a couple of spray cans of Daihatsu R19 Pure Red, which is a popular colour, and I can't see any problem with them not having the tints. In any case, I can go to a panel shop and they can make me up some cans anyway, so no problems there. So, fair bit to do, so I better hop to and get those wheels painted. The left-hand front wheel was covered in grease from that torn CV boot, so I'm using degreaser to get it off, and it's really stubborn. And finishing things off with the gurney. I did this for all the wheels, and then some quick drying silver paint, and time to put it all into the boot of the Golf and head off to Bob Jane. I also sanded and painted the wheel trims too, because as you can see they're in a very poor state, and they came up really well. So you put your old scungy tyres in the boot of the Golf, you close the boot, and then you open the boot, and voila, a magic boot, 4 brand new tyres. I like this boot. I need a wheel. I haven't got a wheel. Okay, I have a wheel. So once the all the wheels were back on, I was able to put the car back on the ground, and that really marked a turning point in the rehabilitation of this little red nugget. I popped into Repco on the way back, picked up a new fuel filter. That was not a problem at all. They're a common item. You can get them any time. I got a length of fuel hose, which is on the left, and a length of vacuum hose on the right. And that's just the samples I took, and they're both very hardened. So that worked out quite well. So I'm just measuring up what I need to replace some of these hardened vacuum lines, and also put vacuum lines back where they once were. There's a couple that are missing here. Putting on the new fuel filter, that one I've been on for many years. I'm just putting a little bit of rubber grease on the inlet and outlet of the fuel filter. It'll just make it a lot easier to slip the fuel hose on, and also a lot easier to get them off again when it's time to change the fuel filter. So I've cut off some fuel line to go on the bottom, the inlet, and I've trimmed it up a couple of times just to make sure that it doesn't exert any pressure, upward pressure on the fuel filter or downward pressure on the metal fuel pipe. There we go. I repeated this process over several other fuel lines and vacuum lines, but only recorded this one. Another little entertaining electrical issue with all this wiring all bundled up and tucked up here up in the corner. So I traced it all out and got rid of it. But it went to this. I have no idea what this is, but I think it might go back a long way to when our friends' sons were all teenagers learning to drive and what have you, and they messed around doing stuff like this. That's all I can think it is. It's not connected to anything. So having a few days up my sleeve now while I wait to take the car in for its new exhaust and a safety inspection, I'm going to have a crack at making it look better, get this bodywork sorted out. So obviously the first thing, give it a really good wash, and then I'll clay bar it and take it from there. So I went down to my friendly Super Cheap store and I got a full kit from Maguire's, clay kit, compound, wax, polish, etc. So I think I really must be their customer of the month by now, for sure. So this is actually the next day now, so this is a 2-day video. The car dried overnight and I gave it 2 washes actually. And now I'm using the Maguire's lubricant and I'm clay barring the roof. The roof's actually pretty good. I don't think I'm going to have to do anything to it. And in fact, the roof's really good. So it's just the rest of the car, and the bonnet is a real mess. I'm going to have to repaint that, so respray it. So we'll just take it as it goes. We'll see what happens here. This bonnet's really rough. Listen to this. Very rough. I'll have a go at the bonnet, see if I can bring it up. But I think in the end, I'm probably going to have to respray this. This red colour is coming up very nicely. You can see where I've been working at the top. These are curlews. We'll just wait until they finish. Shouldn't be too long. Okay, they're settling down. We have a little family of curlews here living on the property, so they're not quiet. But anyway, getting back to the car, you can see where I use a cutting compound at the top and the old paint at the bottom. So this car is going to come up very nicely, and this red colour in particular. And this was the end result. I was very pleased with this. The roof hardly needed anything at all. And the rest of the car came up really nicely. It's the door, the front guard. However, as you'll see, when we get to the bonnet, it's a different story altogether. Just can't do much with it. So I'm going to sand it back and I'm going to see how I go about painting it. So after washing and cleaning and cutting and polishing and waxing and blacking all the bumper and everything, this is how it came up. It came up really well, and also you can see the wheel trims are looking pretty good too. So I'm just using a soft pad with a very fine grit, wet and dry. And I'm just going to work over the bonnet and see what I come up with. I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, but I'll give it my best shot. As I said, I'm not very good at bodywork. Well, I don't know what this is. I don't know what's happened here, but whatever it is, it's coming off okay, and it's leaving a smooth but textured finish, a little bit like primer. Anyway, we'll keep going. After I left Repco this morning, I popped into Supercheap and had them make up 2 spray cans of the pure red that I was looking for. There wasn't any problem at all, and the colour match was absolutely perfect. I was pretty impressed, actually. So here we are, all masked up, ready to put on the first coat of paint. I put on several coats, plus several coats of clear coat as well, but unfortunately it just didn't come up very well. It's quite dull, but it certainly looked a lot better than it did before. Later on, when I've got all the mechanical work done and everything's finished, I'll pull this bonnet off and I'll sand it right back to metal and start all over. And I think that way it'll come up rather well. Well, it's I've come in. It's been raining today. It's quite cold. We're down to 22 Celsius. It is not Fahrenheit. And I've just come in, make a nice cup of tea. This has been a 2-day video. Started off getting the tyres from in town a couple of days ago, picking up some spare parts from Repco and popping into Supercheap and getting them to make up a couple of spray cans of R19 pure red, and that all took quite a lot of time actually. So in the end, after 2 days, the wheels are back on the car. It's off the stands, back on the ground again, and it's been washed and had a cut and polish and wax, and a failed attempt at restoring the bonnet. That just didn't go well at all. I'm just going to do some minor work over the next couple of days before the inspection date. I don't want to accidentally disable the car and then miss the booking date. So I'll just be doing some basic work, cleaning and what have you, and which is of no importance and not worth videoing. So I won't bore you with that. So hopefully, all going well, the next video should be all about getting the car inspected and hopefully registered. Fingers crossed. We'll just see how things go. You never can tell. So we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.